Welcome everyone to day 2 of the Senior League Softball World Series from Lower Sussex Little League Complex in Frankfort, Delaware. We opened the day with Canada, winners last night, taking on Hawaii, trying to get on the right path. Canada did it with pitching and offense. For Hawaii, they'll be trying to get the bats going on day number 2 and pick up their first win in pool play. As we look at how things shook up, just 4 games yesterday. Delaware, one of those winners as well. Michigan, who represents the Central region, they are the defending champs, and they are 1-0. They got the win over Hawaii last night. But for Canada, they did it with the arms. They also did it with the big bats.
And for them, it was all about Alexia Gagliano. She went 1 for 3, 3 RBIs, 2 runs, and finally, to cap it all off, a big-time home run. You can see her. She knows it right off the bat. Her teammates are celebrating. I love this. They're gonna wave, bye ball. They are ready for it. You can tell they've got big bats in their 10-0 win versus South Carolina, and they'll look to do that again today versus Hawaii.
Hawaii trying to get their bats going. Lost last night to Michigan, 11-1 in 5 innings. It's really just 2 big innings for Michigan. They got 4 runs in the first, 4 runs in the third. And for Hawaii, Taylor Ratuta, their catcher, is one to keep an eye on as well.
And she looked really good yesterday behind the dish and at the plate as well. She went 1 for 2 with a double. She's one that they're going to rely on to try to be a spark plug for them today.
Can they solve this Canada pitching staff? Today they send Jeanne Dion to the circle. Her favorite athlete is Sam Landry, but she is actually a Texas Longhorns fan.
And she's going to mix in a rise ball and a changeup. And when talking to her coaches, they said the speed difference between her fast stuff and her changeup is huge. So that's going to be key for her today to locate that changeup to keep these Hawaii batters off playing.
Casey Kimura, the shortstop, will lead things off for Hawaii. Hitless yesterday, but did walk. This is a lineup who didn't get much going. Just a couple hits yesterday, one from Addie Wong in the 3 spot and one from Ratuta down at the bottom of this order. They'll see if they can muster a little more offense against Canada today. Big day to kind of shake things up in pool play.
And I think the thing for Hawaii to remember is that they really fought in yesterday's game. The score may not have shown it, but they put a lot of runners on. They found ways to get on base. They just didn't execute in those big-time moments. And so it's about coming through with that big hit when you need it.
So here we go, set to go. Jeanne Dion in the circle, and Casey Kimura at the plate for Hawaii. It is ball 1 low to start this game. Kimura, one of the best players on this team, a returner from last year's team that was here, native of Honolulu.
And she's got some power. She had a home run in their regional championship series. She's swinging the hot bat right now, and especially in that leadoff position, getting her on early in this game is crucial.
Bounces in as well, ball 2. 2-1 count to Kimura, who their manager, Chad Pyler, says very much leads this team by example. She also listed as one of her other competitive sports bowling, which I thought was interesting. 3-1 count to the leadoff hitter.
Almost looks like a screwball there that is just kind of falling out of the hand of Dion in the circle, trying to figure out control here earlier in this ball game.
A leadoff walk to start the game for Hawaii. Second walk in 2 nights for Kimura. Chad Pyler, the manager over at third base, also handles the pitchers for this Hawaii team. Talked about how young this group is. Compared to last year, only 2 players on this team will age out for next year. So this is a group that should get stronger as the years go on and should be able to play together for a while. Ground ball back up the middle, and that is a low throw, and the first 2 are aboard for Hawaii.
And this is a good job by Dion to originally field this ball coming off the mound. But then to finish this play out, instead of going overhand, had an opportunity to just kind of run it underhand in, make that throw a little bit easier. Sometimes as a pitcher, you're so used to going underhand that that overhand throw just feels off.
Big chance for the center fielder, Addie Wong, who takes the first pitch for strike one. Wong, a great athlete. Has good range in center field. Has some pop at the plate. She was 1 for 2 yesterday with a walk. And grounds this one through the left side, and they will hold the runner. But they are in a little trouble here. The second runner got in a rundown. Now the throw home, and it's disaster for Hawaii. Aoki got caught between second and third. They tag her out at second, and Wong tried to take home, or excuse me, Kimura tried to take home, and she is out as well.
And first off, great hit by Addie Wong here, but then you can see a little bit of this confusion on the base pass. They're gonna throw all the way to home, eventually get that runner out at second, and then throw all the way across the diamond to get the next runner out at a home plate. And the ticket here is if you're the trail runner, you have to read that runner in front of you. You cannot go unless they go. You are reading their momentum. And so that trail runner just came in a little bit too hot and got stuck.
What looked like it was going to be a bases loaded situation with no outs is now 2 outs in the inning and just a runner on first base. Grace Washington is the hitter for Hawaii. Ground ball left side, and Canada is going to get out of the inning with no runs across for Jian Dion. So those big Canada bats are coming up next. It was a 10-0 win over South Carolina last night.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to
This beautiful day in Frankfort, Delaware. Day 2 of the Senior League Softball World Series underway. 6 games today, and we will officially have seen all 10 teams here by the end of the day. There's Francois Martel, the Canada manager, along with Jonathan Dion and Caroline St. Ange. There are 2 coaches. Canada scored 10 runs to beat South Carolina 10-0 last night. This is who they send to the dish. They only had 6 hits, though. Got a little bit of help from some shaky defense and then also just some big swings.
And you got to love that Alexia Gagliano down there at the bottom of the lineup is the one that produced that home run. So if you're Canada, you're loving to see production 1 through 9 in your lineup.
Kellyanne Hache will lead things off. The catcher for Canada, looking for her first hit of the week. Low in the dirt for ball 1. They are facing Lily Pereira in the circle. This is the arm we expect to see a lot for Hawaii. Super talented, tough matchup for her, though, in the opener last night against Michigan.
And she went 2.1 innings, gave up 8 hits. But I really think it was the control for her that she struggled with. It just didn't feel like she had that zip on the ball. She usually throws around 60 miles per hour. But it's really that rise ball that she's going to have to lean on to really get these Canada batters out.
This is smoke to right field and carrying, and it's going to one-hop the wall. Extra bases as she cruises into second with a leadoff double.
And Kellyanne Hache just showing really great barrel control for this. This is a pitch down in the zone. You see her drop her barrel head down to get underneath this ball and drive it into right field. And then what I love is the base running. She does not hesitate. She sees all the way that she can make it to second base and's in there for a stand-up double.
Hache at second with Catherine Martell coming to the plate. Center fielder reached twice in last night's game, a base hit and a walk. It's down a little bunt with some heat on it, and Hawaii gets mixed up defensively. And so the first two are aboard for Canada.
And the big thing here is this is a really great bunt. She knows that she wants to go down the first baseline, but it's just the communication piece between Pereira and Penatani. Somebody has to call that outright and loud so that the other person knows that they need to get out of the way. And now they're put in a tough first and third situation with Canada's fastest runner at first base. So there's a couple different options you can go to. I think maybe this would be a good time to pump fake, possibly check that runner at third.
Runner goes, they will throw down. That is a close play at second on kind of a late throw almost.
And it looked like she was trying to pump fake a little bit, knew that Hache at third didn't bite at all, so you'll see her come up, pump fake, no bite there, so she's got to go straight down to second base. May need to slide there in that situation. It would just make it look a little bit cleaner for Canada if you just slide straight into that base.
I think this might be a question of if the runner is out at second, Chad Pyler's going to come out of the dugout and have a word with one of our volunteer umpires.
You know, in the rule of thumb, unless there's absolutely no play at all, always slide into the base. It's for safety, but it also just makes it very clear, usually safe or out. Sometimes when you come in standing, it's just really hard to tell.
So the umpires talking amongst themselves. Hawaii having a visit in the circle. It's a similar spot because Hawaii started this game, their first three essentially reaching. Now Canada with their first two aboard in a tough spot. And Hawaii is going to challenge this, so we'll wait to get word exactly. I'm assuming they're just challenging the out, or the safe call, I should say, at second base.
And so we're going to take a look here. And because she doesn't slide, does she get that foot in there on time? I don't think she does. It almost looks to me like they get the tag in there before her foot hits that base. And once again, because she's standing straight up, it's a lot easier to make a tag as a defender instead of sliding in. If you're a defender, you have to go all the way down to the ground. Just makes it a little bit easier if you go in standing.
You can hear that is what they are looking at. So if it's your call, you say out.
I say out, and maybe that's just the coach in me knowing that you have to slide in that situation. But I do think that she also got that tag maybe on her lower back as she was going in.
It's a big call early in this game.
We've already seen a little bit of everything. It's only the first inning. I think she's out. And two, the other thing you have to think about is if you go in standing, you naturally have to slow yourself down to get to the bag. Versus sliding is a way to slow you down without actually having to stop your momentum. You let the dirt do that for you. So having to slow herself down. But it's going to stand. That was close, but I really do think if she would have slid in there, that would have been no question at all.
Big call in this game, second and third with nobody out for Canada. Trying to strike first. Lawrence Dupont is at the plate. And rips this into center field. And that is going to score one. The second one coming around. Here's the throw. And it's not quite in time. Dupont is going to be able to take third and tack on a couple RBIs to her total.
And when talking to the coaches, they said that Dupont is one of their best players, if not their best player overall. And you can see here, she's not even going to a full swing. She's stopping at extension, but that is enough to drive this ball into the outfield. And then the throw here just a little bit off, allowing the run to score, but Dupont doesn't miss a beat. She goes all the way to third, knowing that that ball got past Rituta at home plate.
Now Julia Collard, who they called their power bat in our meetings this week. Another runner just 60 feet from home. Takes the first couple pitches, 1-1 count.
That's a good spot there by Pereira. I think especially with how powerful this Canada lineup is, trying to stay low and away to these batters is a really good place to start.
Pereira could really use a strikeout here in a 1-2 count. This is hit down the line in right field, and it is foul, just barely. Inches from the line in right, but live it looked like that was a good call.
And even that swing with 2 strikes, you can tell that Collard's not trying to do too much. Didn't even finish her swing. Same thing, just going to extension, trying to put the ball in play. Just barely inches from that being a fair ball.
Did she go around? She did not. Two is the count. Ground ball right side, just off the glove. A nice job to stay composed by Kendall Moraoka. And that is the first out in the inning. It'll go down as an RBI for Collard.
This is a good job with 2 strikes, just making sure that you know your role as a hitter with a runner on third and less than 2 outs. So you need to put the ball in play to the right side of the field, and that's exactly what Collard does and gets herself an RBI.
First pitch strike to Eve Baudouin, the left fielder, looking for her first hit of the weekend, the week, I should say. For Canada, it's interesting. This is the 3rd consecutive year that this Little League program has represented Canada at the Senior League Softball World Series. And for the players who were not here last year, a lot of them played at the Junior League World Series. So they have experience in these moments, and that's one of the big things that we've talked about with a lot of these coaches is how do you handle the moment a little bit when the cameras are on.
And I think just knowing that you're on TV, that you're playing for something bigger than yourself, emotions can run high, so it's how fast can you start to regulate those feelings and lean on the players to your left and right, and understand that in this game it's never down to one person, it's a team sport.
A lot of them played in 2 Junior World Series, and they almost made it to Greenville 4 years ago. Two is the count. Baudouin out to right field. Tracking it along the line is Irish Crowley, and there's 2 outs.
Big out there for Lily Pereira. And a good job by Irish Crowley to continue going with this ball. It hung up in the air for a really long time, but she hung in there, stuck with it, and got the out.
They were just bringing the on-deck batter over to the Canada side of the field. She went over to warm up on the Hawaii side, and I think that's just because she's a left-handed batter, so maybe something they normally do, but brought her back across.
Usually you want to be on the backside of the hitter to avoid getting hit with foul balls. So if you're a right-handed batter, you go down the third baseline to warm up, and then if it's a left-handed batter, you can flip to the other side. But sometimes it just depends on ruling if you're allowed to go across the field like that.
This is Rosie D'Andreu. One hit, a walk, and a pair of runs scored yesterday. That is spun off the end of the bat. 2-1 count.
Big fan of the Oklahoma Sooners softball program. Great program if you're a young player looking up to some college players. Bit of a dynasty at OU.
How many times did you play against the Sooners at Alabama?
None.
None?
I never played against OU in my entire time in college.
That is shocking to me.
Shocking, I know. I wish I would have.
This is smoked out to center and tailing, but Wong tracks it nicely. And after the first three batters reach and score, Pereira locks it down and goes 1-2-3 through the 4, 5, 6 holes.
And it's really DuPont for Canada. Canada showing off their offensive power. Not trying to do too much, just putting the ball in play, but doing it at the right time. And now Hawaii will have to respond when we come back.
3-0 Canada after the first inning, despite a big opportunity for Hawaii in the first. So now Hawaii trying to respond. They are the representatives of the West region. Very young team. It's been a dominant program out of Hawaii that has been here time and time again. This is Honolulu Little League's 4th consecutive year representing Hawaii and the West region at the Senior League Softball World Series. Their manager, Chad Pyler, said they lost their first game in over 3 years at the West Region tournament this year. He actually said, I felt like that was a good thing, because it maybe got them going a little bit. It was a defining moment.
And it could have just been a wake-up call. You kind of get on cruise control of winning, and you don't get to reflect as much. But when you lose, you take a step back. You look at yourself in the mirror and say, what can I improve on?
Hawaii played that West region in Missoula, Montana. They did not go back home. In the past, Chad Pyler said sometimes they would book a round trip from Honolulu to the States, so they would actually go back home before they would come to the World Series. He said now they just do the one-way ticket and they hope and plan to win, and then if they do, they come straight here. So they came from Missoula, Montana to here. The only difference this year was in the past they flew out of Missoula, but they weren't able to do that this year. So they actually had to take a bus to Spokane and spent the night there before flying out.
And that's got to just be so much better on the athletes rather than having to have that long travel day back to Hawaii and then travel all the way back. You get dehydrated, sometimes your muscles tighten up when you're sitting down for that long. So it's really a benefit to the athlete to be able to stay here in the States and be able to just go from Missoula straight here.
Jan Dion walks the first batter, Penatani, so she is at first base. Irish Crowley, the right fielder, I should say, is up to bat. Any Mario Kart for you?
When I was younger, yes, I had a Game Boy, one of those like flip-up Game Boys. Loved Mario Kart.
Nice pitch by Dion right there.
Really good changeup and a great spot. I think that's the spot to live in with that changeup low in the zone. Make them reach for that pitch.
It's just outside for ball one.
Another great spot, especially knowing the count, 0-2. You can kind of expand the zone, see if you can get the batter to chase something, because you still have some more balls to work with.
Oh, the off speed. That is a beautiful pitch from Dion.
We talked about it before, but it's that changeup that makes her so deceptive. She doesn't slow down. She doesn't change her windup, so it comes out looking the exact same, just significantly slower. Absolutely freezes Crowley for a strikeout.
It's a nice frame from Hache, too. What's the key? Like, what to not just drag it in, but how do you manipulate it to get some of these calls?
It's a lot of posture too, and understanding the angles of your shoulders, so trying to use your shoulders to counterbalance your glove, and you want to make little movements, so nothing too big. It's all about being deceptive to the umpire behind you.
Ground ball, chance for two here. Quick throw to second, the turn in time. Canada putting on a show defensively to make it a 1-2-3 inning.
Canada is fired up about this one. Gagliano fielding this ground ball, the flip to Lunieri, and then across the diamond for a double play.
Canada coming back up in the bottom of the second, up 3-0 on 3 hits so far in this game. A 2 RBI double from Lawrence Dupont is the difference. Little League is the most trusted youth sports organization in the world, keeping baseball and softball accessible for all kids, but its real power comes from you. Help us rally for Little League by texting RALLY to 345-345 today. Standard messaging rates apply. First pitch is fouled back to start this half of the second inning. Lexi Lonyar, the second baseman, 0 for 4 with an RBI yesterday. Favorite school subject, psychology.
Wow.
I don't know that we had that in high school in the States, or at least for me.
Not in high school. I took it in college, but...
Drives this into right field. And it's a base hit to lead off the second. Bottom of this order looks dangerous, just like the top.
And once again, we talked about how dangerous they were 1 through 9 yesterday, and we're seeing that again. But they're not trying to do too much. It's almost like they're taking short swings. They're going straight to extension and stopping there. The finish is the cherry on top of your swing. The extension is the important piece, and they're doing that very well today.
Sets the table for last night's home run hitter, Alexia Gagliano. Her favorite athletes are Paul Byron, former Montreal Canadian, and Ernie Clement for the Blue Jays.
I'm also a huge Ernie Clement fan.
Canada had some great answers on all of their questionnaires as far as their favorite players, some of their favorite teams, some very interesting hobbies as well. Throw down to first to keep Lonyar honest.
And Gagliano says when she gets older, she wants to be a pro athlete, wants to play some pro softball, and what a great time for kids to aspire to do that. With how much just support the AUSL has gathered, and great opportunities for all these girls growing up.
This is a team that has witnessed history for Canadian softball in the 2020 Olympics. Canada taking bronze, the first ever Olympic medal in softball for the country. So this group has obviously had some great athletes to aspire to and some unbelievable pros and college players from Canada. Danielle Laurie, one of our colleagues, would be one of them, a 2-time National Player of the Year at Washington and a national champion. Sarah Groenewagen, Kelsey Harshman. This team is from Repentigny, a suburb of Montreal. In Canada, the qualifying's a little bit different. They said that they do an east versus west situation. So this team flew to Calgary to play a best-of-3 series, won both games by run rule. This is popped up and playable in foul territory. And that is the first out of the inning. They retire Rosalie Paradis.
And that's a huge out for Pereira in the circle. Just having 2 runners on right there and then being able to get a foul pop out. That's a bit of a momentum killer for Canada, but it's a confidence booster for Hawaii.
Back to the top of the order for Canada. So Hawaii's got to lock it down here. Top 3 in the order all reached the first time up. A double, a bunt single, and a 2 RBI double. Kellyanne Hache had the double and scored the first run of the game. Her special talent she listed as drawing.
She's a huge Reese Atwood fan. Loves to water ski, hockey. A lot of these kids are so versatile. They do a lot of things outside of just softball.
Coaching staff said that she will hit anything that can be hit. You are just not going to get the ball past her. She is going to make contact with whatever she wants to. Off-speed pitch, got under this one on the infield. You hear the infield fly rule called out. It's caught over there by Paisley Aoki. She had a tremendous game defensively last night.
She's absolutely locked down over at third base. She's incredible. You can see there just the communication. She's calling that ball loud and proud, making sure her pitcher doesn't have to leave the circle. But more importantly for Pereira, that's 2 back-to-back huge outs in a big-time situation.
We've seen some tremendous play kind of across the board at third base. First pitch is low for ball 1 to Catherine Martel. Bunt single, stole a base, and scored last inning.
Martel, a huge fan of Montana Fouts and Alabama softball. Another great program to look up to.
Was it? Is that
I don't even know them.
It's a great time to say my partner, Allie Shipman, the former star at Alabama. I'm Chucky Kempf. One-two count to Martel. The off-speed from Pereira hit hard. The long throw is in time. Nice play at short by Kimura.
The left side of the field for Hawaii has just been incredible defensively between Aoki and then Kimura at shortstop. This ball is hit into the 5-6 hole. She gets her feet there and then a laser beam throw across the diamond. Hawaii needs to heat up their bats when we come back. This was pregame. We saw this last night too when Hawaii played Michigan, but they kind of hand out the shell necklace to every player on the opposing team, which is awesome and just kind of a show of the camaraderie that you'll see here at the Senior League Softball World Series. And I love that they're getting to spread their culture a little bit. And when we talked to a lot of these managers, they said that was one of the best parts for their players, is getting to experience players from different cultures, different parts of the world, and seeing how far softball has spread. So what a fun way for Hawaii to be able to give a little bit of love to the opposing team.
It's not just softball this week. There's other activities and things that these players participate in. I think Sunday night, after our coaches' calls, it was a kind of a beach outing that they got to participate in. Jalen Pang leads off the top of the third for Hawaii. There are 2 base runners, both via walk in this game so far.
One ball, one strike.
1-1 pitch from Dion. 2-1. Canada can put themselves in a fantastic spot with a win in this game. They would be 2-0. How it works, it's basically 2 segments to the Senior League Softball World Series. The first is the pool play round, which we are in right now. So the 10 teams divided into 2 pools of 5 teams each. They'll all play each other 1 time, so 4 games over the course of 4 days. And then the second segment, this is ripped out to right and caught by DuPont. The second segment is an 8-team single elimination format, and it's seeded based on the pool play record. So got to be in the top 8 teams of the pool play to advance.
And now here's catcher number 7, Taylor Repentigny.
And 2 wins would very likely get you through. First pitch swinging, that's fouled off by Taylor Retuta. Her favorite athlete is Mookie Betts, which is why she normally wears the number 50, wearing 7 this weekend. She is a baseball card collector.
And she's been one of their hottest hitters. Yesterday went 1 for 2 versus Michigan with a double. And she's one, hitting is contagious. If you can get her hot, then maybe it kind of feeds into the batters behind. Then you get a rally going.
One ball, 2 strikes.
Xian Dion is controlling the game through the first couple frames in the circle for Canada. It's off the end of the bat, slow roller, gonna be a tough play. And that will be Retuta reaching first.
And this is a tough play. It's in between 3 different people. It's in between your pitcher, your third baseman, and your shortstop. And so the key here is communication, figuring out who's going to take it and when. That's a long way to go for Rosalie Paradis, for her to go all the way across the diamond. Wondering if maybe Alexia Gagliano at shortstop, that would have been an easier play for her.
Hard hit ball down the left field line. It will likely go down as back-to-back base hits for Hawaii, their first 2 of the game.
And that's that rally that I was talking about before. Hitting is contagious. Sometimes all you need is for one person to get on, and then it's a little bit of a deep breath for the rest of the team. And that's another hard hit ball. Not trying to do too much, just gets on top of this rise ball. Smokes it down the line. Too hard for Paradis at third base to get a glove on.
They will actually rule the Retuta hit as an error. And Kimura's there, the first hit in the game for Hawaii. Paisley Aoki reached her first trip to the plate. So on an error by the pitcher, taking a couple mighty hacks here, but is behind 0-2 on a couple foul balls.
2 balls shortly, 2 balls.
And this is a team, a Hawaii team, that knows how to fight. Coaches said that even though they're young, it's almost like they don't know when to quit because they're so young. So this is a great opportunity to show that.
Ripped up the middle this time, and Hawaii is going to get on the board now. A big swing by Paisley Aoki to deliver the first run for Hawaii.
Another phenomenal at bat. She gets this ball on the outer half of the plate, gets her barrel out there and drives it hard enough that the runner scores easily from second base for the first RBI of the game for Hawaii.
Still plenty more opportunity here in the top of the third. Addie Wong, the 3-hole is up. She reached on an error her first trip to the plate. Takes strike 1 on the outside corner.
Kellyanne Hache behind the dish, making sure that she's keeping her runners in check, Keeping everybody honest on the base paths.
Wong just out in front of that. Oh, 2 pitch. High, and she did not go around. Ground ball left side, and it just didn't bounce up off the dirt, and Hawaii gets run number 2 to cut this lead to 1.
And you can tell, you can feel the momentum for Hawaii starting to build here. They're learning from the at-bats ahead of them. They're being gritty up at the dish. This pitch is in the other batter's box, but she gets her barrel out and around it, and that topspin makes that bounce really difficult over there at third base. And Hawaii on the board again.
Canada wants to talk things over. Go down as an RBI single for Addie Wong.
One visit for Canada. One visit for Canada.
Still just 1 out in this inning. It was the first batter who lined out to right field.
And even that was a very hard hit ball. This entire inning, it's almost like a different Hawaii offense has shown up. They're a lot more aggressive. They're willing to take their hacks in this inning. They're getting good barrel on ball.
Grace Washington, that is going to hit her on the first pitch, and that did not feel good, but it will load the bases for Hawaii.
Huge opportunity here for Hawaii. Bases loaded, less than 2 outs, so many different opportunities to score a run or 2. Big time at bat coming up for Jaylee Rose Penatani.
First pitch swinging, fouled off for strike 1. Another big moment for Penatani, who Chad Pyler said she's come up clutch time and time again. Time is called right before Dion started her windup. Quick pause there was for Canada sending Ali Tanji Malcolmer out to the bullpen. There is Tangi Malcolmer starting to warm up here in the third. Canada showing faith, though, in more than one arm. Turmel, who pitched last night, is their ace, but looking like they would not go to her if they do make a change. We would see potentially a third pitcher.
And with how many games you have to play in this tournament, it's crucial to have a staff like that that can supplement you as you go along.
Dion responds with a strikeout and out number 2 with the bases loaded.
That is a huge strikeout for Dion. This pitch is going to go up and away. Lots of spin on it. Just an incredibly clutch moment in the circle for Gian Dion.
First pitch, a little upstairs to Irish Crowley. Talked about the Canadian great representatives of the sport from that country, but Crowley's favorite athletes are Ailana Agbayani and Jocelyn Allo. Two in a very long list of talented Hawaiian-born players. And again, they were switching who is warming up now, so it looks like Tangi Malcomer is ready. Now Cassandra Turmel will start to warm up. It's a 2-1 count to Crowley. Bounced in and blocked up by Hache behind the plate.
Big time block behind the dish. Knowing that these bases are loaded, you're only up by 1 run, you have to sell out to make sure you keep this ball in front, and Hache doing just that.
Strike 2. The bases loaded, 3-2 count with 2 away in the third. Tying run on third, go ahead run on second. That one just got away from Dion, and we are all tied up at 3.
That was overall a phenomenal at bat by Irish Crowley. Saw a ton of pitches, fouled things off when she needed to, took the right ones. And then in the end, when the situation's big time on the line, she takes the walk for her team. That's a great at bat.
Kendall Moraoka is the batter who takes ball 1 to start things off. Grounded into a double play to end the second inning, her last trip to the dish. Ground ball left side. Nice job to get in front of it by Paradis. And that'll end it with the bases loaded, but we are all tied up.
And Hawaii's starting to heat up with the bats. It's back-to-back RBI singles for them. They're really starting to feel themselves. Now they've got to hold it down on defense when we come back.
All tied up, going to the bottom of the third. Game number 1. There's another one going on just behind us on Lions Field here at Lower Sussex Little League Complex in Frankfort, Delaware. The first 2 games of 6. We will go all the way. This game today started at 2. We will play one at 5, and then the last games of the day starting at 8 o'clock Eastern time. All of them right here on ESPN Plus. 3, 4, and 5 coming up for Canada this inning. Lawrence Dupont lead things off. In the air to shallow right field, and nice job by the second baseman Muraoka to get out there and make the catch.
And Muraoka made this play look easy, but this is a really tough catch for her. She's having to run a long way, kind of basket catch over her left shoulder, communicate while she's going to make sure Irish Crowley doesn't run into her, coming in from right field. Big time out, and especially the leadoff batter.
And actually, they will call an illegal pitch on Pereira. So it's that last play, instead of an out, is going to go down as a ball on the batter. Three-1 is the count to the batter, Dupont. Inside ball 4 to lead things off, so that is quite the difference after it looked like she had popped it out to the second baseman.
And that's a good job by Dupont to lock back in. You think you're out, you get another opportunity, you have to reset, refocus like it's a brand new at bat, and she does just that and draws a walk.
Julia Collard now at the plate. Dream job is to be a veterinarian. Inside runner goes, and that throw is going to go into center field, so Dupont will take third as well.
Great base running there by Dupont, recognizing the overthrow and not hesitating immediately. This throw she releases too early. When you release too early, it's going to sail high, and that's exactly what this throw does. Gets into the outfield and allows Dupont to go first to third.
Popped up, and maneuvering over the bag is Penitani to make the catch for out number 1.
It's a really good spot there by Pereira, coming up and in, trying to jam up Collard, and does just that for the first out of the inning.
Back to the throw. Are you looking for the defender, or do you know when they will be there?
You just go straight to the bag, always.
This is back up the middle. Canada retakes the lead. A base hit for Eve Baudouin.
Once again, Canada not trying to do too much, shortening up their swings, just trying to put it in play hard. Another great piece of hitting. And automatically now, it's like in a blink of an eye, they're back up top in this game.
Runner goes again. The throw is there in time, but just pops out of the glove of Kimura. Canada is aggressive on the base paths.
It may not have gotten the out, but I really like the adjustment by Taylor Ratuta behind the dish, being able to adjust from that last throw to that one, making sure that one's down. Even if you miss in the dirt, at least your infielder has a chance to make a play on it.
Foul tip by Rosie D'Andreu. She also plays flag football, which came up a few times. She's only been playing softball since 2023. It's underneath this shallow right field, and Wong calls off Crowley to make the catch for the second out.
Hawaii communicates really, really well. You can hear them all the way up here in the booth communicating who's going to catch that ball, me, you, all the things that they need to do to make sure that there's no confusion going after those high pop flies.
Right back at the pitcher off the glove, and Pereira takes care of it. Kind of shakes her glove hand off, but makes a nice play defensively to end the inning there.
For Canada in the bottom of the third inning.
So Canada retakes the lead in the third. We're going to the fourth. Hawaii coming up next.
4-3 now. The score. Canada's back in front.
Well, just behind us on Lions Field, South Carolina getting a couple on the board against Michigan, trailing 11-3 in that game. Michigan just looks like the team to beat again.
And we had a firsthand look at their offensive power yesterday. A couple home runs hit, and not just small home runs. These are moonshots that they were hitting. They have an opportunity to be really dominant in this tournament.
We'll keep an eye on that one as it goes on. We have a much closer game here. Canada leading Hawaii by just one. Back and forth that last inning. That's a nice swing, but right to the left fielder, Ev Baudouin, to retire Jalen Pang. Jalen Pang's just having an unlucky day because she hit a ball hard to right field and out of left field.
And sometimes that's just the sport of softball. You can hit the ball as hard as humanly possible and get out, and sometimes you mishit it, hit a squibbler and get on base.
Out of the 9-hole, Taylor Ratuta. Reached on an error and scored the first run of the game for Hawaii in the third inning. Another well-hit ball to left, and F. Baudouin stays busy. There's two away.
Once again, just back-to-back well-struck balls for Hawaii, just getting a little bit unlucky with the placement. If you think that's a little bit more in the gap or a little bit more down the line between those two, they may have scored a run. A lot of this game is about luck.
Casey Kimura, the leadoff hitter, she hits one hard down the left field line, foul. They've seen the ball well as a lineup.
Ever since that first inning, it really has seemed like this is a different Hawaii offense. They have a better approach. They're swinging at the right pitches. They're letting the right ones go, but they're committed to their swings. Sometimes you'll watch a hitter and you can tell they're not quite sure if that's the pitch they want to swing at. They're hesitant, but these Hawaii batters are attacking.
0-1 pitch from Dion is the off speed, and it stays high for ball one.
That's a great miss right there. Maybe a little bit high, but still, even though it's not a strike, it changes up the eyes of the batters. So now they've seen something slower, and that's in the back of their mind.
Really good spot on the outside corner.
It's a good sequence there, too, because now with 2 strikes as a batter, you're wondering, do I think fastball, do I think changeup? Because you've already seen both in this at-bat.
Popped up in foul territory. So 1-2-3 inning for Gian Dion. Still 4-3 Canada trying to extend their lead next.
For the West to the top of the fourth, no runs, no hits.
Is Indian River Bay, one of the many sights to see out here near Frankfort, Delaware. 4-3, Canada leads Hawaii. So we go to the bottom of the fourth. And it is a beautiful day on day 2 of the Senior League Softball World Series.
Not too hot, little bit of a breeze, perfect softball weather. You can tell the girls are loving it because we've got a close game over here.
Perfect day to get ice cream between games. First pitch swinging out to right center field, and it's caught by Crowley. That was Alexia Gagliano swinging a good bat to start this week.
That was a really good piece of hitting, and she got great barrel on that low and in pitch. The wind's blowing in a little bit here, but either way, that was a really well-struck ball. Got to give you some confidence continuing into this week if you're Alexia Gagliano.
Ball 1 on the first pitch. And it's going to be a pinch hitter, Sarah Fatuzzi, 16-year-old, whose favorite athlete is Shohei, but probably a little torn last year because her favorite team is the Blue Jays. Ground ball right side for Moraoka. Couldn't quite come up with it, and Paradis is on.
This is one of these really, really tough ground balls as an infielder. It just kind of stays low and skims across the dirt. And when it does that, it has a ton of spin on the ball. The key to that is charge it as hard as you can. That way you can try to get it on a hop that you like because they're weird. They move around on that dirt. Sometimes they hit a rock. Tough play. And Fatuzzi's on base.
She is going to be ran for by Takea Buckley, it looks like. Francois Martel making the changes, and Buckley is on first base to run. Canada's still trying to sort things out here, but looks Looks like we are ready to go. Back to the top of the order with Kellyanne Hache. 1 out, 1 on in the bottom of the 4th. Outside for ball 1. Canada has pretty consistently, in this situation, ran.
I was just about to say that. You have to be ready as a catcher right now, but you also have to think about your pitch calling. What pitches can you call to make your life a little bit easier to make that throw down to second base?
Here's strike 1, so what pitch do you like here most?
So it depends on what type of catcher you are. If you like to throw from your feet, you want to go something up in the zone, like a rise ball. But if you're more of a throw from your knees girl, trying to think curveball, fastball side to side, avoiding things like changeups that are going to slow the pitch down.
Hard hit ball back up the middle, a base hit for Hache. That will move Buckley into scoring position at second.
Another really hard hit ball for Hache. Just smoking the ball today, right back up the middle. Getting her barrel there long with their extension. I've been so impressed with Canada's ability to get to full extension. That is the key. You want the ball to be in contact with the barrel for as long as possible, and they're doing that.
A bunt down the first baseline. Nice play by Penatani to let that roll foul.
Really good decision making there, knowing that the best opportunity is to let that ball roll foul, reading the spin, especially with the speed of Martel. You'd rather get a strike than try to make that play.
Now an 0-1 count to Martel. Will she bunt again? She will. Popped up, and it was spinning backward, but that one got a piece of Ratuta. So it's bases loaded with 1 away.
This is an incredibly difficult play, especially as a catcher. You're having to come up out of your squat to try to get this ball. You have a couple options. A, you dive for it, you lay it all on the line. Or B, you can see that backspin, how that ball's wanting to come back. Try to get out of the way and see if you can let it go foul.
Loads the bases for DuPont, who lifts it to left field. Gets hung up in the wind, but it's going to get the job done and be a sacrifice fly. 1 run scores, 1 runner advances up to third.
Textbook softball here. Sac fly, putting it deep enough into the outfield to score a run. And then great base running as well, recognizing that that throw is going to go all the way home, so there's an opportunity for the trail runner to get to third base, and now we're in a 1st and 3rd situation.
Runner goes, first pitch, throw down, no one is there. That was a perfect throw to the bag, but Canada's going to get on the board even further.
And Ratuta doing her job. This is probably the play that's called, go all the way down to second base. So she comes up firing automatically. Just there's nobody there to cover between Kimura and Muraoka. Sometimes you'll see the second baseman cut in front of the bag, just in case, to make sure that that runner at third doesn't advance, but it just looked like a little bit of confusion.
Ratuta could not have placed that ball better.
That was perfect. She's gotten better with each throw that she's had to second base.
Hawaii needs to get out of the inning right here, down 3. Still a few innings to play in this game. 0-2 count. Chance here for Pereira to do just that and get out of this against Collard. Runner goes to third, another nice throw, but a better slide by Martel.
And once again, Ratuta back there, she's doing her job. You're going to see that she's going to recognize that she needs to stay behind the batter. Makes a really good throw down to third base, but the tag just not in time. Gets her foot in there. Wondering if maybe because that ball took 1 hop away from her after she blocked it, if that's the difference between that being safe or out.
Collard has fought back and evened the count at 2-2. Ground ball back up the middle, just got Pereira. She's taken a couple shots in the circle. Had one off her glove hand earlier. That one got her down low on her leg.
And they're gonna take a timeout just to check on her, give her a little bit of a breather here, hoping that she's okay in the circle. Looks like it may have gotten her on the shin or the ankle. That's why you see a lot of these pitchers wearing that face mask. The ball comes off the bat so hard and you do not have a lot of time. It's only 43 feet between home plate and the pitcher's mound.
I think they are going to pull Pereira here in the fourth, and it's going to be the same change we saw last night. The left fielder, Jalen Pang, will enter this game when we return with Canada up 4. Here is how the first 4 games went last night. Canada was a winner, 10-0 over South Carolina. They are trying to move to 2-0. Those are our 2 pools. Top 4 in each pool will advance to a single elimination bracket.
2 more, Data, 2 more.
And we will crown our champion on Sunday here in Delaware. New pitcher is Jalen Pang. She came in last night, and Allie, for the most part, looked really good in her relief outing.
She did a great job. She went 2 2/3, only gave up 3 hits. She also came in for them in their championship game in regionals and shut the door. She's only going to throw mid-50s, but she's got a lot of spin. She'll throw a 2-seam fastball. She'll kind of place the ball all over the place. And she's no stranger to coming into games like this.
Is hit out into left field, and that is going to drop, kind of bloops in between the shortstop and the left fielder. Irish Crowley has moved from right field to left field, and Kapi Makayao has entered in right field for Hawaii.
Perfectly placed ball. This is just hitting no man's land. No opportunity for anybody to catch that ball, and drops in for a base hit.
Is fouled off by Rosie D'Andreu. A 1 from Pang, up and in, ball 1. Spins that one to the outside corner for strike 2.
Really good off-speed pitch right there. You could tell that ball was kind of tumbling in. Took a little bit of off that. That's going to be crucial for her.
Two balls, 2 strikes.
Tries it again, but stays too far out, and it's a full count. Hawaii needs just 1 out to get out of this with 2 runners on. 3 have come across in the inning for Canada. Hard hit ball through the right side. The throw coming in from Makayao hits the cutoff, and now a rundown between second and third. Canada going to try and score. They will not in time. And Hawaii gets out of the inning. No run scores. It is confirmed by the home plate umpire. The runner did not cross home plate, so it is 3 across for Canada in the frame, and they lead it by 4 as we go to the 5th.
For Canada.
Hawaii trying to respond in the 5th inning. Just 3 hits on the board for Hawaii, but they have been able to put up 3 runs. They've had plenty of runners. 3rd inning could have been an even bigger inning for them. With 1 or 2 more hits, they had 3 runners on when they got out of that frame. Now 2-3-4 to start the 5th inning. Paisley Aoki to lead things off.
And we saw this yesterday with Hawaii as well. It just seemed like they were always right there knocking on the door, but couldn't get that big hit to break it open. Sometimes that's all you need is for one person to step up, get that big time hit, and then it opens the floodgates.
Good spot in the order to get it started. Back up the middle, and that is off the pitcher, Dion, who looks okay. And it'll be an infield single for Aoki to start the inning.
The pitchers for both teams getting beat up today. This ball is hard hit by Aoki. Seems to get Dion maybe in the knee. Gets that ricochet, and that's going to be a base hit. And a great start for the Hawaii offense in this inning.
Strike 1 to Addie Wong, the center fielder, had an RBI single her last time up. Has covered some serious ground in center field a couple times in this game. Takes the changeup for a strike on the inside corner. Fouls that off herself. Addie Wong, the older sister of Emily, who is also on this team. Addie is one of the 2 who will age out next year. 17 years old already. Throw down is in time. And Hache gets it done from behind the dish.
That was a beautiful throw by Hache behind the dish. Could not be more perfect. She gets that ball up. She makes a quick transition, nails the throw, and it's kind of interesting that you're going to see Lexi Lunieri coming across from second base to make that tag. Usually you see shortstop, but a really good play for Canada.
eliminates the leadoff base hit. Two to Wong. Fouled out of play.
I'll make two balls. I'll take them right now. Thank you.
Off-speed Wong waited as long as she could on it and nearly painted the line.
Great job of two-strike hitting there, recognizing the changeup, staying back, getting rid of it, and living to see another pitch.
Drives this to center field, but right in the direction of Catherine Martell, who's almost shaded to that side of the field.
And you can't say that Hawaii hasn't hit the ball hard today. They have hit multiple hard line drives that are just going right at Canada's defense. They're putting the ball in play hard. Now they just need a little bit of luck to go with it.
Base is empty with 2 outs for Grace Washington. Hawaii trailed 5-2 after the first inning in the West Region Championship game and came back to win that 8-5. So this is a team who has come from behind before. Washington, a 2-out base runner.
Good piece of hitting there by Washington, and once again, another hard hit ball. This one is just hit hard enough to get underneath the glove of Sarah Fatusi, who's now in at third base as well.
First pitch is high to Jaylee Rose Penitani. Another one left side, just foul. Penitani has walked in this game and has struck out once. 2 walks in 2 games for her. 1-1 fouled straight back, and now a 1-2 count.
Dion's doing a really good job of working ahead in all of these counts. It feels like Hawaii's always in a 1-2, 0-2, 2-2 count. She does a good job of pounding the zone and forcing them to kind of be on their heels.
It's bounced back really well. His last 2 innings after the 3-run third. Ground ball left side, that hopped up really nicely for the shortstop, Gagliano, who makes the play. And they are out of the 5th, still with that 4-run lead intact. Canada closing in on a 2-0 start this week in Delaware.
7-3 remains the score. We're at
That is the Philippines representing the Asia Pacific region, a mainstay at this event. Warming up, ready for their game that's coming up at 5 Eastern, about 90 minutes from now. They will take on Brazil, the representatives from the Latin America region, who are making their first ever trip to the Senior League Softball World Series. Not just the first for Brazil, but the first South American team to make it.
That's huge. What an opportunity, too, for those girls.
First pitch swinging is a ground ball out to start things defensively for Hawaii. Lexi Lonyar retired.
And it's Aoki over there at third base. She continues to be stellar. She moves in, she moves laterally, and her glove work is just so smooth.
Hard hit ball, about a foot foul by Alexia Gagliano. Best third baseman you ever played with or against?
Man, that is so tough. Kentucky had Abby Cheek, who, I mean, you could not try to bunt on her. She was fearless, she could move, and she could hit the crap out of the ball.
Oh, hard hit ball caught by Repentigny over at first base.
Both of the corners holding it down. This is a laser beam. Repentigny going to her glove side and saving what could have been a potential triple if that gets down the line.
Jalen Pang looking for the first 1-2-3 inning for Hawaii in this game. She might have it. Shallow right field. It is caught out there by Makayao. And that's a 1-2-3 inning in the fifth. So to the sixth we go. Does Hawaii have a little momentum after the great defensive outing, especially in the circle by Pang? (7-3) Canada leads Hawaii, start of the sixth inning. That man right there is Mike Wyatt, our timeout coordinator. All right, Mike, cue the umpires. Let's get it going. Just like that. One of over 100 volunteers that are here at this event to help put on the Senior League Softball World Series. There's about 20 to 25 that meet monthly in the off season to prepare, and then over 100 that are here this week.
And you gotta love the community rallying around the sport. Even down to the umpiring crew, these are all volunteers as well, just people that love the game, love giving back to their communities.
And excellent human beings. We've
Absolutely
been able to interact with a number of them and meet them, and everyone is extremely gracious and friendly. This is in the air to deep center field. And there's one away. Irish Crowley is retired.
Another ball for Hawaii that's struck really, really well just right at Canada.
Hawaii gonna have a pinch hitter here. Ilea Sintos de la Cruz. 16-year-old seeing some of her first action of the week. Said she likes to go diving, shelling, and make lays. Have you been to Hawaii?
No, I wish. I want to go so bad.
Went to Maui a few years ago. I've been to Maui a couple times. This is my favorite vacation spot in the world.
Sounds gorgeous.
Ilea swinging at the first pitch and fouls it back. Chad Pyler wrote in his questionnaire, the ball screams with pain when she hits it. Takes strike two.
Bad day to be a softball if you're hit by Sintos de la Cruz.
Just underneath this one on the infield. Gagliano calls off Fatuzzi.
And a good spot there by Jean Dion, being able to get that pitch up and in on the hands. Get Sintos de la Cruz a little bit jammed up underneath the ball. Good spot there.
Here's Jalen Peng, who is the unluckiest 0 for 2 you could be. She has smoked 2 balls, one to the left side, one to the right side. This is gonna tail foul. Made solid contact with that one as well, though.
It almost feels like it's one of those days where maybe when you miss-hit the ball, maybe that's the one that's gonna fall in for the hit.
Is a called strike on the outside corner, and she's behind 0-2. Chad Pyler said her bat has been hot lately, and you can tell that by her at bats, but she is 0 for 4 in the first 2 games. Just 14 years old. She's been super impressive in the pitcher's circle as well. This is into left field, and she's got a base hit. And she deserved it too.
And after squaring up almost every ball she has swung at, she finally drops one in there for a base hit. This time going a little bit more down the line, a little bit lower with that line drive. But she is a huge piece of this Hawaii offense, somebody that you need to start bringing the energy up and maybe potentially start a rally for them.
Bottom of the order, Taylor Ratuta takes the first pitch high for ball 1. She is also lined out in this game and reached on an error and scored. Lays down a bunt here with 2 outs and trying to use the wheel. She is safe. It's a bunt single. He just caught the defense off guard.
And both of the corners for Canada were playing so deep. Fatuzzi over there at third base was almost in line with the bag. And so as a batter, if you've got some speed, you take a peek down the line, you notice that they're playing so far back, it gives you an opportunity to lay down a bunt for a hit.
Casey Kimura has walked, has a single, popped out one. In the air, foul territory, and that is going to get out of play. Hawaii down to their final 4 outs in this game. They'd love to push 1 or 2 across here in the 6th. Off speed, ground ball left side. Handled by the shortstop. A nice stretch over at first by Collard. It's a scoreless 6th inning for Hawaii. So Canada coming back up, looking for a little more insurance with that 4-run lead. Just next door, Michigan tacking on another run. Ayana Trotter with the long ball.
Michigan just showing off their power. They've already hit a ton of home runs. It's only 2 games in as well. Really impressed with how this Michigan team is swinging the bat.
Elena Trotter, excuse me, with that home run. Is up and in, ball 1. Jalen Pang went 1-2-3 through this Canada order last time, but she will see the top of the order here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Kellyanne Hache leads things off. The catcher's been impressive both offensively and defensively in this game. Nickname is Kells, also a hockey player. She's a Reese Atwood fan. She's also a Connor Bedard fan. How many athletes did you have to look up on the questionnaires that they said were their favorites?
Not a ton, actually.
Okay.
I'm proud of myself for that.
That one gets out of play, 2-2 count. I did not have to look up Bedard, but it just kind of, I started thinking, and there were a handful where I was like, I'm gonna have to look that
I gotta look that up. Luckily, especially for Canada, my big sister works for the Toronto Blue Jays. So when they name a Blue Jays player, I've got that down.
Got the inside info. That's
Got
what
the
you got on that,
Yep.
yeah. 3-2, ground ball right side. Nice job to knock that down over at first base by Penatani.
Really solid backhand play by Penatani, and huge for this Hawaii defense to get the first out of the inning, especially a well-struck ball like that. Make sure that you secure the out. Get a little bit closer to getting your offense back and going.
Pinch hitter is going to be Kendra Crompton. 15-year-old takes strike 1. Dream job is to be a marine biologist. That's another popular pick that we've seen this week. Her uncle is Glenn Curry, who played 326 games in the NHL in the 80s.
Athleticism runs in the family.
Strike two.
Really good off-speed pitch there by Jalen Pang. Just taking a little bit off of it in a great location, keeping it low in the zone.
She likes that off speed to the outside corner.
And I think that's a good location too. Try to keep it away. That way you have to even let it in deeper as a hitter. Every outside pitch, you need to let it a little bit deeper. That way it helps your reach, helps your timing. And so when you have a changeup that's already slow and then you have to wait even longer, it just feels slower.
Another foul ball. The sun just really came through. It's like there's a light cloud cover, almost like a film over the sun, and then it just blasted before that last pitch. In the air to center field, Wong goes back and makes the catch.
Really good piece of hitting there by Kendra Crompton, especially coming up off the bench. Your first at bat of the day. Later in this game, she did a really good job of fouling pitches off, just drives this one right at the center fielder.
Lawrence DuPont at the plate. Takes ball one down and in. She has had a productive at-bat every time she's come up. She had a 2 RBI double her first trip, walked and stole a base her second trip, and had a sacrifice fly her third trip. And this time, it's extra bases again. What a game for DuPont today. A double for the second time in the game.
And you can tell DuPont just seeing the ball really well. She gets this pitch on the outer half of the plate. You can see what I was talking about earlier, letting that pitch in deep, long with your extension, and she continues to barrel up balls for another double this game.
Canada trying to pick up an insurance run with 2 outs in the bottom of the 6th. Julia Collard drove in a run her last time up, an RBI single in the 4th inning. Ball too low.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Kind of off the handle into an awkward spot, and it gets down. Kimura gave it a good look. Now trying to advance to second. Oh, she did not get around the tag. Looked like she might have swam around the tag at second. The run does score, and it'll be 8-3 here in the 6th. And that will do it for the 6th inning. Last chance coming up for Hawaii. Hawaii needs a big inning. They are in a good spot in their order to get something going. 2, 3, 4 due up in the top of the 7th. They'll try to mount a comeback against Canada. Paisley Aoki at the plate. Takes the first pitch for ball 1. Four of Hawaii's 6 hits have come from the top 3 in the order. There's another one for Aoki. She's got 3 of them.
And especially in this situation for Hawaii, getting that leadoff runner on is so important. Paisley Aoki understands this, so she doesn't try to swing too big. She doesn't try to do too much. Hits the ball hard right through the 3-4 hole. And Hawaii's got something going.
Addie Wong's 1 for 3. Some vicious hacks.
This is a really good part of the lineup coming up here for Hawaii. Trying to start a rally, got a couple hits coming up in this part of the lineup, a couple really great at-bats.
Eight of the 9 in their order have reached. I mean, offensively, if you just saw probably the exit velocity, the hard hit rate, all of those things would be great today for them.
Just feels like they're not falling when they need to fall. They're not getting that big hit with multiple runners in scoring position.
That is off the glove of Fatuzzi at third, and it's first and second for Hawaii. So they're in business now with 2 on, nobody out.
And again, they've been doing this all game. They've been hitting the ball hard. Now instead of getting a little bit of loft underneath it for catchable line drives, now they're hitting into the dirt, forcing the Canadian defense to make some plays.
Grace Washington, oh, she got it down. It was right at her and somehow gets it down and beats it out. She was almost stunned by it. I think it hit off the handle.
I thought for sure that was going to hit her in the batter's box with her.
The umpires are coming together to talk things over. Both Francois Martel and Jonathan Dion came out of the dugout for Canada to ask a question about this play. And they are going to initiate a review, I think, on their own here.
It's going to be an umpire's challenge. We need to take a look at it. It's going to be an umpire's challenge. We want to take a look at it.
That's exactly what they're looking at. It's an umpire's challenge that they're going to initiate to take a look at this.
And overall, this is just a really strange play. Number one, that ball was in the batter's box with Washington. And then she squares to bunt. It's in there with her. Seemed like from our angle she made contact with it, but does it hit her at all? There's a lot of different factors to this play.
Yeah, I think that's what I think they're looking at something with the bunt itself. Did it maybe come off of her? This is going to be really interesting to see, though, on replay, because it was kind of blocked from our vision, but it looked like she bunted it off the handle.
You could kind of hear it click off the bat, too.
That was serious self-defense by Grace Washington.
Well, and it caught everybody off guard. It caught her off guard. It caught the defense off guard, because I think everybody was expecting that to be a hit by pitch. Does it hit her foot? Because I think the bunt itself, it hits a really strange part of the bat, but she gets it down.
I think for Hawaii, the best part about this replay is you can't really ever see it.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to tell either way. And it may hit her front left cleat right there on its way down. But still, her hands, because they're split, it's hitting the handle of the bat, which is still part of the bat. So it's technically still a bunt down. I think the question becomes, does it hit her on the way out of the box?
I think the fact that the ball lands in the batter's box essentially and then ends up rolling flat and straight out so hard indicates that it would have hit her foot, but I just don't think you can see it.
Yeah, and it's hard to speculate with that too, because sometimes especially those bunts have really weird spin to them. They come off weird, and I don't know if I've ever seen a bunt come off that particular part of the bat either. The hand-eye coordination, though, by Grace Washington to be able to pull her hands across and get some form of bat on that ball is pretty impressive.
She saved herself some serious pain because that was up and in. I think the likely result of this is that the bases are going to be loaded with nobody out.
I think the only two options are dead ball because it hit her foot or safe bases loaded. To me, those are the only two options.
It's a big call because this would bring the tying run to the on-deck circle for Hawaii in this inning.
That angle looks almost like it rolls down her leg. But once again, because of the shadows, it gets so dark, it's hard to see, and it has to be enough evidence because they originally ruled this on field as a playable bunt, a playable ball.
It's actually when it's in reverse that makes me think it hit her even more,
Yeah.
not when it's rolling forward. I'm glad we get to react to these calls and not make them.
Not make them. I just give my educated guess and then wait for the result.
Over there for like.
We're about to get word right here. What is the call? After review, safe at first.
I mean, what an athletic play by Grace Washington. That ball is in the batter's box with her, almost going to hit her in the chest. She manages to get her bat across, lay a bunt down, and then run it out to load up the bases. This is a huge momentum shift for Hawaii.
Canada's still asking some questions here. That was an umpire review, so the fact that that was not changed on the field, Canada does not lose a challenge. And technically you get unlimited successful challenges. You would only be out once you have 2 unsuccessful ones. That does not count as an unsuccessful one because the umpires initiated that themselves. I think they might review, no. Thought for a second they might be reviewing something else, but I think we are going to be ready to go. Hawaii might make a change on the base paths. And it's going to be Kapi Makayao who will run over at first base for Washington. And Canada, in the meantime, is going to make a pitching change. Jeanne Dion's day is done. Cassandra Turmel had a great outing last night. Will enter when we come back.
Running to the Trammell. Cassandra Trammell.
That is Martin Donovan right there, the tournament director here at the Senior League Softball World Series. His son Matt also helps out this weekend with over 100 volunteers in all. And they're getting a treat here in the 7th inning. Hawaii making things interesting against Canada and has forced Canada to go to Cassandra Trammell, their ace, who had a complete game shutout in their win last night with 11 strikeouts.
I mean, an 11 Ks speaks for itself, but she's going to be a lot more high velocity, throws 62 to 63. And so that's going to feel like a big change for these Hawaii batters, but she's also going to mix in a rise, a change, a curve. But her go-to is just that fastball. She relies on that velo.
Hard hit ball to the shortstop. Can Canada get 2 for the second time? They cannot. And Hawaii gets a run back. So 1st and 3rd, 1 out, and that lead is down to 4.
Good piece of hitting there. Being on time, especially with the velo change. And then a really close play on that double play.
And they are going to challenge the play at first base.
I think in this point of the game, you kind of have to, especially knowing the position that your team is in. Defensively, 1 out with a 1st and 3rd is not an ideal place to be. Versus if you can get that double play, now it's a runner at 3rd, 2 outs. Hawaii almost has to start fresh with their rally versus continuing the inning.
This is a very big call in this game. Again, Hawaii would be a batter away from the tying run stepping to the plate if this call stands.
First off, just a beautiful turn between the middles. And just taking a look here, she is safe. But I think it's worth a challenge. It was pretty close, you know, seeing it in real time. And like I said, a 1st and 3rd is very difficult to defend. So you'd rather be in a situation with 1 runner on than a 1st and 3rd where, you know, gives Hawaii the offense or the option to run a little bit, create some chaos.
They have gotten word, and let's see, safe at first. That one is an unsuccessful challenge for Canada, so just 1 more unsuccessful one remaining for them in this game, should they need it.
And now for Hawaii, with how well Hashe's been throwing the ball behind the plate, the question is, do you run? Do you try to force this Canadian defense to make a 1st and 3rd play?
Irish Crowley is the batter. 0 for 2 with an RBI on a bases loaded walk back in the 3rd. Swings through that for strike 1. You mentioned Trammell and the velocity that she throws with in the low 60s. She is 15 years old. And she got a lot of votes for most likely to go pro because of it.
For that age, that's incredible velocity. That's college level speeds, 62 to 63 miles per hour.
Emily Wong will run over at first base. 0-1 count to Crowley.
Runner Emily Wong.
Popped up, and that's going to get out of play. dirt and smothered. The throw down, it was in time, but it was in the dirt. Gagliano could not corral it, so now 2 in scoring position.
Once again, this is a very athletic play by Hache behind the dish. She has to block this ball up and then make an accurate throw. She does her job. Gagliano just struggling to get a glove on that.
Crowley is back in this at bat and a 2-2 count. Tying run is on deck. Hard hit ball that's gonna get through, and it's gonna score a pair of runs for Hawaii. Crowley's gonna move up to second base, and the tying run is coming to the plate.
What a moment for Irish Crowley. Top of the 7th, you're down. She gets this ball low in the zone, drops her back knee, and smokes it up the middle to continue this inning for Hawaii. But the best part for them is she herself is now in scoring position as well. Huge for this Hawaii offense.
It's gonna force Canada to talk things over again. Crowley on second base. Kendall Moraoka is coming to the plate, looking for her first hit of the week. The Hawaii second baseman. Cassandra Turmel gave up just 2 hits in that complete game shutout win last night. Walked 1 and struck out 11. Moraoka trying to catch the defense off guard. Fatuzzi was playing a little bit back at third base, but it's foul.
And Turmel's usually their ace, and so sometimes when you're used to that ace role, you're used to being the starter, coming into a game can feel unique to you. It can be a fresh position that you're not used to.
Good spot on the outside corner, and it's an 0-2 count now for Moraoka. Strike 3 on the outside corner, and strikeout number 1 for Turmel in the inning.
Huge moment for Cassandra Turmel. Going to this curveball on the outer half. Look at the spin on that ball. That is perfectly placed on the outer half of the plate, and a big-time strikeout for her.
First pitch, swinging a diving catch at shortstop. Gagliano robs Jalen Pang. And Canada hangs on to start the week 2-0.
What a job by Canada, their defense, their offense, remaining calm, even though Hawaii put up a ton of fight. They fought until the very end. Gagliano coming in clutch with that diving play to end it. Cassandra Turmel coming into the game to close the door. Really great game for Canada.
8-6 the final. Canada 2-0. Michigan 2-0. They were winners on the other field just now. Still 4 more games to be played. We'll see some teams for the very first time today. The Philippines and Czechia getting set for their first games of the week. We'll have the Philippines back-to-back games, so still a lot of softball to be played this week.
And each of these pool play games are super important for getting you in a good position for later. Great win for Canada today.
Hawaii gave them all they asked for, but Canada able to hold on in the end. The big bats coming through again. They've scored 18 runs in 2 games, and they are off to a 2-0 start. For Ali Shipman and our entire crew, I'm Chucky Kemp. Still a busy week in Frankfort, Delaware, and we will see you soon.